Mahaprabhu from another sampradaya, not the same sampradaya as Madhvacharya and Lord Chaitanya. We'll hear some more. But he wrote a commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, verse by verse. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted that commentary is proper, and anyone who after Sridhar Swami writes commentary must write commentary pursuant to Sridhar Swami's commentary. And Jiva Goswami does that in his Sandarbhas. So on this verse from the 11th canto, chapter 5, Srimad Bhagavatam, here's what Sridhar Swami says, that this Trisha Krishna, it's a compound word. Trisha means complexion. And it can be read Trisha Krishnam or Trisha Akrishnam. Sridhar Swami, Jiva Goswami points it out, he wrote that when Swayam Bhagavan Krishna appears once in a day of Brahma, his complexion in the following Kali Yuga is also blackish, meaning he's also Krishna. Although he assumed the complexion of Radha, he is Krishna himself. Now he wrote this before Lord Chaitanya appeared. He didn't have the advantage that Jiva Goswami and those after Lord Chaitanya had. But that's what he writes in his commentary. Now, similarly, those that are a little familiar with Kavi Karnapur, another devotee of Lord Chaitanya, he wrote a book called Gaura Gonadesh Dipika. In that Gaura Gonadesh Dipika, it's like a who's who on people in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Who were they in Krishna's pastimes? In that book, Gaura Gonadesh Dipika, he writes, the name and the color of the other 999 Yuga avatars for Kali Yuga is blackish. You with me? Did I lose anybody? We'll do it again? We're okay. There's 1,000 yuga cycles in each day of Brahma. So there's 1,000 Kali Yugas in each day of Brahma. 999 of those Kali Yugas, the Yuga avatar is blackish. And when Krishna appears, he's golden. When the Kali Yuga following, when Swami Bhagavan Krishna appears and performs his pastimes in Vrindavan, that one is golden. But they're all Krishna. But when the other 999, Krishna doesn't show his pastimes in Vrindavan, and it's not Krishna himself who appears as the Yuga avatar, but he's blackish in color. So that's what Sridhar Swami writes in his commentary on this 11th canto verse. Now here's what Jiva Goswami writes in his commentary on this verse in Sarva Samvadani, that the compound word Trisha, the complexion, is a Krishna, not blackish. And he concludes, that's golden. Okay. So he asked the question, somebody might raise the question, why golden? And he gives the answer, why golden? And the answer comes from another verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, which has to do with a description of the Yuga avatars, which includes Kali Yuga. And it comes from a verse in the 10th canto where Gargamuni is performing the name-giving ceremony for Krishna and Balaram in a cowshed. Those who are practicing devotees, you're very familiar with this. In that name-giving ceremony. So Garga Muni was like super astrologer. He wasn't like one of these guys that, takes your money, doesn't really know what the heck he's doing. He was a super, super, super astrologer. And everybody knew it. So Nanda Maharaj went to Garga Muni and said, can you do the chart for these two boys and give their names? Namakarana is one of the sanskars. It's one of the duties parents to approach a proper brahmana for this. So he did. And in the verse from the Bhagavatam spoken by Garga Muni, here's the verse. Especially this last line will make reference. Shukla rakta tata pita. Iditam krishnatam gatai. Gata, I can't read. Your son Krishna appeared in previous yugas as Yuga Avatar with 3 different colors, white, red, and yellow. And now he has appeared in a blackish color. So the Yuga Avatar for Satya Yuga is whitish, Shukla. And that whitish avatar is Kapila Dev or Hamsa Avatar or others that in Satya Yuga are whitish. And then in Treta Yuga, reddish. Commonly Yagya, a form of Lord Vishnu who appears reddish in color. And now Krishna's in the blackish color, and then that leaves one more. That's the Kali Yuga avatar who is yellow or Pita, just like the color of Krishna's dhoti is. Pita is one of his names, Pitambar. His dhoti is that color. So that's why golden, because Garga Muni said it. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that person who's being described in that 11th canto verse, chapter 5. Jiva Goswami is, being very careful that persons who are readers of his book may not be followers of Lord Chaitanya. So how do you get away with saying that verse is speaking about Lord Chaitanya? The verse by Garga Muni from the Bhagavatam. And we're still on the first verse. I didn't get very far. I better hurry up. Jiva Goswami, in his commentary, Sarva Samvadani, he raises a doubt. Wait a minute. Some people may say, wait a minute. One of the names of the Supreme Lord is Triyuga. Tri means 3. He appears in 3 yugas. And in fact, there's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam that confirms this. Listen to this verse. It's Prahlad Maharaj speaking in Canto 7, where he's offering prayers to Lord Nrsingadev, where he says, in this way, my Lord, you appear in various incarnations as a human being, as an animal, as a great saint, a demigod, a fish, a tortoise, thus maintaining the entire creation and killing the enemies of the world. According to the age, O my Lord, you protect the principles of religion, period. In the age of Kali, however, you are unmanifested, Chana, and therefore you are known as Triyuga. It's one of the names of the Lord, Triyuga. So Jiva Goswami raises the question, wait a minute. Lord is Triyuga, and you're saying this verse from the Bhagavatam is speaking of the Lord appearing as Lord Chaitanya. Wait a minute, he's Triyuga. And not only that, Jiva Goswami helps the doubting persons by giving another scriptural reference that uses the same word Triyuga. in one of the Upa Puranas, Vishnu Dharmotara Purana, Lord Hari is not seen to assume a manifest form in Kali Yuga. He appears only in the other 3 ages, beginning with Krita or Satya Yuga. Therefore, he is called Triyuga. But when the Kali Yuga has reached its end, Lord Vasudeva enters into the body of Kalki, the proponent of Vedic truth, and reestablishes order in the world. Okay. Now, I'm a doubting person. What about these references? And you're saying that verse from the Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 5 is about Lord Chaitanya. How is that? He's Triyuga. So now, this word Chana, those have been around for a while. No, we refer to Lord Chaitanya as Chana avatar. He's Chana, concealed. Here's very interesting. On that verse from 7th Canto, Sridhar Swami in his commentary writes as follows. You, the Supreme Lord, both protect and kill. It's directly in the verse. Pritranaya sadhanam vinashaya chaduskritam. He comes to protect and he comes to kill. But in Kali Yuga, you do not do this. Because at that time you are concealed. Chana. Therefore, since you openly appear only in 3 yugas, you're known as Triyuga. Cool, huh? Lord Chaitanya doesn't kill. What does he do? He chants. Those are his astras. He doesn't use his Sudarshan chakra and chop people. That's what happened with those 2 brothers. What are their names? Jagai Madhai. Lord Chaitanya pulled out his Sudarshan chakra and was ready to chop him. And Lord Nityananda said, no, you can't do that. In this incarnation, you don't do that. You can't chop him. Put that Sudarshan chakra away. Give your mercy to them. Oh. Well, I can only give my mercy to them if they fall at your feet and beg forgiveness. They fell at his feet and begged forgiveness. So Lord Chaitanya put his Sudarshan chakra away and used the holy name instead. That was his astra. So it's Chana avatar. And other than that, we don't hear about Sudarshan chakra appearing in Lord Chaitanya's hand because he's Chana avatar. You follow? And that's before Lord Chaitanya appeared. This is what Sridhar Swami said. And here's what Jiva Goswami said when he knew more than Sridhar Swami did about the life of Lord Chaitanya. He comments, the Vishnu Dharmotara's denial of a Yuga avatar in Kali may apply to other Kali Yugas, but not to the present one. Why? This is the 28th Kali Yuga in the 7th Manvantar, in the day of Brahma, called the Sweta Varaha Kalpa. Well, we're going to hear more about the Sweta Varaha Kalpa later. Don't worry about it for now. It's a very, very special day of Brahma, in short. So, in this day of Brahma, there's how many yuga cycles? In the day of Brahma? 1,000. And there's how many Manus? 14 in each day of Brahma. And during Manu number 7, that's our present Manu, in the 28th cycle, because he got 71 of the 1,000, Krishna appears. And when Krishna appears in this very special, in the day of Brahma, that's a long time, only once in each day of Brahma does the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna personally descend on earth in his original form. Jiva Goswami writes, when Krishna appears in his original form once in the day of Brahma, Gauranga appears in the very next Kali Yuga. Grung is so special. He's a special manifestation of Krishna himself. And because this very special manifestation of Krishna himself, the very rare descent of Krishna, is not just another avatar, but the ultimate source of all forms of Godhead, when he appears, his unlimited potency overrules the general pattern, and he comes again in Kali Yuga. That's Jiva Goswami's explanation of this Vishnu Damotara passage, the Triyuga passage. And then he concludes, the Lord is not directly visible or is covered, chana, in Kali Yuga. Thus the Lord is described as appearing in the other three yugas. Now, there's one other reference for those of you that like Chaitanya Charitamrita, and then we're going to stop for questions. And he only got through Mangalacharna verse 1. When Lord Chaitanya went to Puri, he was alone because the others traveling with him, Lord Chaitanya insisted he didn't want to enter Puri with them because they had just broken his danda and like that. It was a Leela. So he went alone, he saw Lord Jagannath, and he went running towards the altar of Lord Jagannath because he saw Krishna, not just Lord Jagannath. And in his anticipation of love, of embracing Krishna, he fainted. Not just fainted, he went into trance. The guards saw this sannyasi lying on the floor. They got out their sticks and they were going to toss him out of the temple room, making a disturbance. Look at this fellow. Just as they were about to toss him out, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya came and said, no. This is a sannyasi. You can't just toss him out. Make an arrangement and bring him to my home. So they did that. And many things happened. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya tested while he's lying there in trance, because he's a scholar. And he knew all kinds of things, like when people are faking and when they're genuine. So when someone is in trance, their life air is suspended. When someone's faking, they're breathing. They're not in trance. So he took little fibers of cotton and held it before the nostrils of Lord Chaitanya to see if he was faking or in trance. They hardly moved. His life airs were suspended. So it was, wow. He's the real thing. And then his brother-in-law, Gopinathacharya was his brother-in-law. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's wife had a brother, and her brother was Gopinathacharya. Gopinathacharya said, many things happened, but he said, even the personality of Godhead comes to your home and you don't know who he is. You're such a scholar. And Sarvabhauma said, well, wait a minute here. The Lord is known as Triyuga. So how can you say he's the personality of Godhead? When you speak things in spiritual circles, you must make reference to Scripture. And Scripture says he's Triyuga, one of the names of the Lord. So what was Gopinath Acharya's response about this Triyuga point? Who knows? Yes. Did you hear? In Kali Yuga, there's no Leela avatar, but there's a Yuga avatar. There must be a Yuga avatar. There's Yuga avatar in all the 4 yugas. Triyuga refers to the Leela avatars. Now in this Vishnu Damotara verse, please note, at the end, there's this sandhi, a juncture when this one ends, the next one begins, and that little period is called the sandhi. That's when Kalki avatar. He comes at the end, but it's at the end. So there's no Leela avatar. This is what he says. in this age of Kali, there's no Leela avatar of the Supreme Personality Godhead. Therefore, he is known as Triyuga. That is one of his holy names. There is certainly an incarnation in every age, and such an incarnation is called the Yuga avatar. So, Gopinath Acharya, being a devotee, he understood Lord Chaitanya's Yuga avatar. Just as that verse, Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishna says, as the question was being asked to Karabhajana Muni from King Nimi, there's a Yuga avatar, and he's golden, Trisha Krishna. And he has his Angas and Upangas and Parshadas and Astras and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we're done because time ran out, and we'll start after breakfast with verse number 2, Mangalacharna. In verse number 2, Jiva Goswami explains verse number 1. It's his own language. Okay, so any comments or questions? Do we have a portable microphone or no? Here comes the portable microphone. Look at this. Can you hand it? Just raise your hand. Okay. Can you stay by, or somebody can be the runner for this? Go ahead.
Hare Krishna. So was Jiva Goswami the first acharya to see that verse referring to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
No, I don't know. I don't know. There were other. He heard from Rupa Goswami, so likely he heard from Rupa Goswami the meaning of that verse. Don't know.
Another question.
Yeah.
The Sarva Samvadini is a commentary on the Shat-Sandarbhas by Jiva Goswami?
Yes.
So it's a different book altogether?
Yes, a different book altogether.
And there's no translation yet for that?
Oh, yes, there is.
Oh.
Well, Bhanu Swami's done the translation of Sarva Samvadini, at least for this Tattva-Sandarbha. At least for Tattva-Sandarbha. That much I know. And Gopi Pranadana Prabhu. In this book, those of you that were fortunate enough to get one, in the back, there's a translation of Sarva Samvadini by Gopi Pranadana Prabhu for Tattva-Sandarbha. One more question.
It's very enthusing to hear about Jiva Goswami's commentaries on or expansions on the Bhagavatam and his Sandarbhas.
Oh, keep your seatbelt fastened. It gets really interesting.
And my thoughts were going to what I've heard from you so many times about how Gopal Bhatt Goswami is the source of those Sandarbhas.
It's coming up in the Mangalacharna prayers.
Okay. I wanted to hear
Stay
more
tuned.
about that.
It's coming. Back? In the back? Raise your hand.
Guru Maharaj, I got a little bit confused by the two quotes that you posted there.
Yes.
So one was when Kavi Karnapur says that when Krishna appears as Yuga Avatar in all the other 999 yugas, he appears in the color blackish. And then
which is similar to what Sridhar Swami says.
Yes.
And Jiva Goswami's gloss is different. So these are examples, don't be surprised, it happens, where commentators don't say the same thing.
Yes,
but whatever they say has the scriptural basis for what they say.
But there is somewhat a contradiction, it looks like, because in Srimad Bhagavatam, the verse that you quoted from Garga Muni's Namkaran, in that it is stated that Krishna is appearing in the previous yuga as white, red and yellow. So it is not, the yellow is following Krishna's.
That's correct.
So
Garga Muni is not an ordinary fellow, please remember. And so what Garga Muni is saying and what Kavi Karnapur is saying and Sridhar Swami are saying differ, it appears. Now, he's saying what he said, Gargamuni said what he said. And the next age, he's yellow or golden in color. He doesn't say, what Kavi, 999 he's blackish and 1 he didn't say that. He said yellow. So it's not necessarily, because otherwise Kavi Karnapur is not going to say it, that 999 are blackish.
So I was wondering whether we can interpret that as like in the previous day of Brahma, that...
Of course, and you can also interpret it a different way. In the following Kali Yuga, after this Krishna appearance of Krishna, he's going to be golden. At least he knew. Whether he knew from scripture or he knew from his spiritual acumen, it's one of the colors of Yuga Avatar in Kali Yuga.
Another question I have is regarding the Three Yuga, that in one of the circulations about that you shared about Rupa Goswami's writings of Laghu Bhagavatamrita, where he lists down different Leela avatar. In the Leela avatar, you also listed Lord Buddha, if I remember. So, how are we going to
Deal with the
accommodate
fact that Buddha appears in Kali Yuga, and the statement by Gopinath Acharya says
Yes.
there's no Yuga avatars,
Yes.
no Leela avatars in Kali Yuga.
Yes.
I don't have the answer for that.
Okay.
I don't know if Buddha appears in every cycle of the 4 yugas.
Okay.
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay.
I've questioned that very point myself. I don't
Okay.
have an answer.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Is it recommended that we read Govinda Bhasya?
Say it again?
Like you were mentioning Govinda Bhasya is
Yeah, I
a
mentioned, yes.
commentary on Vedanta Sutra. So
Yes.
is it recommended that we read it? Is it published by BBT?
It's not translated by BBT yet. But, my recommendation is read Srimad Bhagavatam. Because it's the commentary on Vedanta Sutra. And because Jiva Goswami made this Sandarbhas, if you want to read something after Bhagavatam, after you're, fully conversant in the Bhagavatam, become conversant in the Sandarbhas, because there's commentary on the Sandarbhas by the author. And, it's very high, the Sandarbhas, and the commentary is similarly very high, but there's commentary at least. And I don't know about commentary on Govinda Bhasya. I think our head would spin if we tried to read Govinda Bhasya. What's he talking about? Something over here, ladies? Are we done? Questions? Okay. Question in the front? No. I'm making reference to it.
Sure.
Now, Madhupati, this was sitting on the table when I came in. Is there a reason for that? Is it meant to be my copy, or you want some announcement about copies, or?
Well, we were not able to get the copies. I contacted the person whom you recommended. Said that ultimately I have to get it from India,
Yeah.
and that takes longer time to get it from India. So we were not able to get copies.
So what do I do with this one? Give it to you?
Well, you can refer it. I think we had ordered one box last year.
Yeah.
So these are some remaining. So probably I think it was kept
So I'll
there.
just go put it out at the registration desk and she can decide what to do with it?
Whoever wants to buy it, yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we have 4 or 5 copies, so whoever wants to get it, yeah.
And that's part of what I understood from you, your intent was that would be part of the registration fee.
That's true. That's what I want to do. But now I don't want to be partial to just give somebody a copy and somebody not a copy.
So you know what to do, right? We'll take breakfast. What time will we come back? It's now 5 minutes after 9. What's the schedule say? 10:15? See you again at 10:15. Thank you very much. Prabhupada Ki. Jai.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.